worldwide movement that has spread everywhere from Florida to even the UK. Drill rappers are known for rapping about real crimes they've committed and the deadly life in the streets. Here's a look at some wild Chicago drill lyrics that actually happened. He survived one to the head, but it f***ed up his body. Lil Durk should have ducked. Lil Durk is one of the most popular rappers to come out of Chicago in the early 2010s. His career has had some ups and downs, but he's managed to build a solid fan base that has kept him relevant in the music industry for almost a decade. Even though Durk has changed his ways and moved out of Chicago to focus on his rap career full time, he's still a savage at heart and will occasionally drop a diss track against his enemies. His most recent diss, Should Have Ducked, was a bonus track off the rapper's most recent album, The Voice, where he takes shots at several members of the FBG crew. In this bar, Durk is throwing shots at rival rapper FBG Wooski, who the artist has been beefing with for years. Wooski is one of O Block's most hated ops due to the number of bodies and disses he's dropped. This deadly beef eventually led to Wooski getting ambushed and shot in the head outside a funeral, which is what Durk was talking about in the bar. Wooski actually grew up in the Parkway Gardens houses, the housing project in the area locals have named O Block. Even though his older brother, Big Mike, was a BD and the entire building was controlled by the gang, Wooski ended up joining the GDs after becoming cool with dudes from the St. Lawrence area like FBG Duck. Big Mike protected Wooski when he was growing up, but that could only last so long. Wooski was just too wild to be contained and was forced to leave the area after a BD from the set Wick City named Reezy was shot and killed. The shooting happened during a fight between Reezy and a group of dudes from the STL EBT set, including Wooski. Wooski was rumored to be the shooter in Reezy's death, even though he was only 12 or 13 at the time. After that, he couldn't stay on O Block anymore. The STL EBT took him in, and he's been repping the set ever since. This beef would eventually get even deeper after Wooski allegedly killed an O Block member named Platoon, and King Von retaliated by killing Wooski's cousin Modell. Around that time, Von and Wooski started going back and forth on Twitter, making their hatred for each other public. So it started an all-out war between the two sets. Their beef got even more intense after Von and Big Mike, Wooski's brother, both got charged with murder after killing a man named Malcolm Stuckey outside a house party. Stuckey had allegedly been mean-mugging Von, so the rapper went to recruit Big Mike as backup. When they confronted Stuckey outside the house party, they ended up opening fire, killing their target, and injuring the dudes he was with. Both Big Mike and Von were potentially facing up to 100 years in prison, and Mike decided to rat. He told police that Von was the one who fired the fatal shot and he was just there for protection. But at the last minute, Big Mike changed his mind and refused to testify. Either O Block got to him while he was locked up and let him know that if he came back to the streets, he'd be a dead man, or he figured it out on his own. Either way, without Mike's testimony, the prosecutors didn't have much to go off. Von ended up beating the case, and Mike took the charge for the murder, getting sentenced to 28 years in prison. Check out our video on rappers that beat a murder case for more info on what happened.